right? Yeah, another one of Luke's requests. He does have some fire requests, to be fair. And this one, Stevie Vaughan, which is always great, and Double Trouble, Riviera Paradise. And this is one I haven't heard at all, so yeah, let's go.
This one goes out to everybody who's still suffering in any way.
Yeah, that was smooth as fuck. Anyone who's watched my Stevie Vaughan reactions knows I love his gentle playing. I think the first one, it probably wasn't the first one, but the one that really sticks out is the Little Wing cover. Just every time it comes back in and he brings it down into that little gentle playing. I love that. It's just so much feeling, like there's something about that. It's so gentle but so effective. And I think as well, because it's quiet, it makes you listen more close, like listen closer to what he's doing. Which I saw someone, I can't remember who said it. I think it's an old blues musician. We said if the audience is talking, don't turn your amps up. Because they just talk louder, turn your amps down. And then all of a sudden they all realise like people are trying to listen and they're talking louder than the band on stage and they'll shut the fuck up. And there's a lot of there's some old blues musicians that believed in quiet playing and yeah. His gentle playing is just such a great touch to him. But anyway, yeah, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Rolf Harris. Yeah. I actually forgot that until just then watching him play. Luke actually said, what's his name? Something? Reese something? Shit. Yeah, he said check this performance out because he's somebody on the keyboard. And so yeah, I can't remember who that what that mate's name is, but Luke made a point of him. Yeah, I actually forgot that until he started playing. Yeah, let's go back a bit. Yeah. That crossover.
Reese Watts, everybody. Reese Watts.
Reese. Oh, I didn't catch his last name then either. That's a well nice riff. Yeah, that hanging on. Yeah. Yeah, that's fire. Oh, hold on. He always has this. Oh no, this is the Double Trouble band, isn't it? Yeah, I was gonna say they all look familiar, but I think I've just done. I have actually Austin, Texas. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. The man is a genius. Yeah. Yeah. I think when he's been splitting and like not splitting the notes up, but because it is right, I can't remember. I always reference it, but I just always just think it's such a great summary of his playing that it's a continuous flow. But how he's been like staggering and not staggering the notes, like just um, not letting them ring at all, and kind of making it a clear distinction from each note. Like when he's doing the whatever. Um, that's just such a great effect in his style of playing, because his style of playing is just such a continual flow of notes. Um, so every time he switches it up to that, yeah, it's fire. Let's go. That was fucking. That was. I think that might have been the best I've seen him play. To be honest, that little thing he was doing where he was flicking like at the end, because it does. It's like I've never. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that quite like that, if like that at all. Because you can. It just kind of. It's just kind of like the strings is just dead when you play them. But yeah, to do it through, I suppose, it's still going to get picked up if you do it through an amp. And then to add in the tremolo on that, on picking the top strings and then the tremolo on, was a very good touch. And also where he was positioning that in the bars. Like on the last one, he really let it hang in the air until he knocked it, like slung that little bit in. But that was fucking incredible. Like some of my favourite stuff, if not my favourite Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff, is when it's just guitar playing. Like same with Zappa, I'm just a big guitar motherfucker. And Luke, if you do send more, because Luke, to be fair, he is a constant PayPal, but the next one definitely had some Stevie Ray Vaughan in that again. Because like I say, I said it to like Betsy PayPal'd me a Queen request. No one PayPal's me or Patreon me for Queen, and it's so infuriating because at times like these where I've really I'm literally doing requests that people are paid for because I just haven't got time. Like I haven't got the time to be doing like 20 reactions in a day like I normally would. So yeah, definitely Luke, more Stevie Ray Vaughan and Pink Floyd, because the Pink Floyd one to always pick is great. But yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan is the fucking king. But it's so hard because I'm very fickle, I have to say. If you go and watch each guitar player I watch, whether it's Alex Lifeson, Kirk Hammett from Metallica, he's another one I like. Stevie Ray Vaughan. I haven't actually done much more Steve Vai, and I should, but it's just I have so many already. Like some people, I just need to be reminded. Like, or yeah, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a fucking money grabber, but if you PayPal me or Patreon me, then that is like 100% will get done. Other than that, it just, because people just send requests. Like, there's some guy who sends me to Soundgarden. He sent me so many Soundgarden, and I feel bad because he really sends a lot. And I just, like, I haven't done any yet, but I will. I will. I don't want to be one of these people that ignores people. But that was some of the best guitar playing. That's probably the best Stevie Ray Vaughan performance I've seen since The Little Wing. But then he always just puts on a great performance. I'd have loved to have seen him live. He'd have been one of the few people, because although I love music, I've never overly been into seeing people live. Like, I don't know why. But he would have been one I'd have loved to have gone and seen live. Because it's just like, even when you look in the crowd of that, how he can help. Like, it's a bit like when you watch young Bob Dylan and you see this young fucking boy basically holding an arena full of people just fucking spellbound, just with him and a guitar and the words he's saying, basically. Stevie Ray Vaughan has a similar effect as that on guitar. The way he can just hold your attention with his playing. And it's because he is very, even though he's chose a very narrow, because there's not a lot you can do with blues. There's not a lot. Like, it's, I mean, there's only 8 major notes anyway. But depending on what key you're playing in blues, there's really only 3 notes. And that's if you're showing off, to be honest. You can absolutely play blues with just 1 note if you want to. So the fact that he's picked such an art form which is very limited in what you can do, and he's definitely expanded that horizon beyond what it was before him, without a doubt. Because it's just like I say, there's a lot of guitar players I kind of hear in him. Peter Green, and Peter Green, just through his, because Peter Green's probably my favourite blues guitar player, but then I wouldn't put him necessarily, although he is blues motherfucker, I wouldn't necessarily put him in the same kind of category as Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like, I'd put him as good, but it's just different. Like, it's like Peter Green, actually, his guitar actually sounds like it's crying. There's just something about that man's playing which is very spooky and tragic, whereas Stevie Ray Vaughan's is different. But there's a similarity in them, in the way that they just, where they choose to play their notes. It's like, I've said it before in reaction videos, they say to Peter Green, about Peter Green, it's not the notes he plays, it's the notes he leaves out. And it's so true, and it's the weight in and just the precision of where they place their solos. And Stevie Ray Vaughan's another one, how he can just hang out and let the track kind of float on top of the track and then come back in. And like I say, I mean, I love his quiet playing more than anything. Just that touch that he has when he just goes gently. There's something about a guitar when you play it gently like that, where it's like it's whispering to you. But that was fucking great. Yeah, that was another great Luke request. We've only got one left now. It's not a music one either. It's Louis C.K. That's the last one of Luke's requests. But yeah, that was definitely the shit. Literally. But anyway, yeah, that's the reaction. It was sweet.